Gemini.
Hello Gemini, this is your forecast for September 2014, and yeah, I think a lot of you might have been busy to and fro here in August, and coming into September, that first week of September, you might still be a little busy to and fro, having visitors or making visits to friends, siblings, catching up. It's been a social time for you with both Venus and Jupiter in this third house. But then again, this area also has to do above and beyond visitations and travel. It's also communication. So I'm feeling that your communication here as of late has been very open, very positive, very hopeful. Venus and Jupiter both, they've been trining up to that 11th house for hopes, dreams, wishes, friends, groups, organizations. So you might have felt that you've been more interacting with groups here as of late. But now see, Venus is going to be moving into your 4th house for family, which will take place from the 6th of September onwards. So you'll see the shift going from where you've been now and focusing and dedicating a little bit more time to the core family. 4th house is all about you, yourself, your family, your past, your roots, the history, real estate, properties that you own. You might use more energy now by putting Venus into it, just changing it up a little bit, maybe shifting things around, generating a little bit new feng shui, say by changing your pictures, your canvases around, and yeah, just maybe your furniture as well. But see, also there is communication here with key importance with family members as long as Mercury is here. That will be until September 3rd. So you might have felt here end of August that this has been a trend going on, important communications about property or other family traditions and values, because also we have the sun in this area, and this is where you're going to shine here throughout that of September. We also have the new moon, not before September 23rd, but as always with the new moons, we place our intentions. So your intention here this month should be about, if you are enjoying the extra time spent with family right now, to make sure, you know, create that promise that you will want to spend more time in the months to come, setting aside a little bit more time to focus here on home, family structure, traditions, and so forth. It's also a good time under this new moon to think about where you live, how you live, and to make plans for that down the road as well. Maybe some of you might start getting a feeling of that you would like to move, even though it may not be yet. But you know, from next summer onwards, when Jupiter hits this area of your chart, well, a lot of you will come to see that you might be making that move to buy a new property, to invest into a new space. So it can take time to plan, but that new moon might just trigger it, because the new moon in this area won't come back around before next year, around the same time as now, and then Jupiter will be there as well. All right, so you're starting a trend, just a small little mustard seed perhaps. Let's talk about Mars. Mars is currently in your 6th house. It's your day-to-day routines, going over your to-do list. It's wanting to clear out some space, some clutter. Mars is your drive, your ambitions, your goals. It's your physical energy, all right? So having it in this area, you might have that extra resource, that extra oomph right now to go and do the garage you've been thinking about for months that you needed to clear up, haven't done. Well, until September 14th, you might just find the energy and the desire to do so. It might also be clearing out the closet, your desk, organizing, streamlining, getting all those little ducks in a row. Mars will be more than happy to kick you into action now. It's going to be 2 years before you have this visitation again. So it's one of those big, deeper cleanups, I feel. Now, also having that said, when we're talking about the physical environment, it's also the physical body. It's the area of health too. So Mars may help you start on that diet you've been thinking about, didn't do, but here we go. Until the 14th, anything you initiate right now may give you the strength to not just follow up and follow through now, but down the road as well, because you started it, you initiated it while it was in this area. Not just that, but we have Saturn here for you, and it's been here for the last 2 years, Gemini, where you have been structuring, working out in a little bit more of a difficult, I feel, environment, because Saturn can restrict. It's the only planet with rings, even though, of course, we do know now that both Uranus and Neptune also have rings. They're finer, though, more subtle. But with Saturn, it has the rings because it holds us to what we need to focus on, so we don't just drift off. So, but you're completing something now, and I'm feeling now that Mars is initiating it as it's touching upon Saturn and moving away from it this month. Then at least it is starting you on wrapping up this long-term cycle that you've had Saturn in this area, which will complete itself, excuse me, in December, all right? So then Saturn will leave this area, you will be free from it, you will have completed, and hopefully you will be happy with the accomplishment of what you've worked for. Saturn is always our life lessons, okay? So it's been pretty deep life lessons right here. Then it's going to move into, in December, to your 7th house of love and relationships, the committed type relationships, and that is where it's going to take on its shape and form for the next coming 2.5 years. So let's talk a little bit about the full moon, September 9th. It is going to be in the career house. So something here now is going to be illuminated in a big way. It will have then just passed your Neptune. Neptune in your career house is keeping you focused on your hopes, your dreams, what it is you're on a very creative note wanting to accomplish. Neptune's going to be here for many years. But having the full moon here might just open up and illuminate a vision for you. So pay attention, September 9th. Then we have also Pluto working, plugging along in your 8th house. Not going to waste too much time on it. We talk a little bit about it every month. It's still going to be there several more years. But Pluto here on the 14th, I'd like to say, is a good day as Venus will be trining it. Venus coming from then your 4th house, so it's between your home environment, your roots, your foundation, family, property. Venus being there, then angling off to this Pluto in the 8th house, which has to do with money that you hold with your partner. It could also be the money that you hold in institutions, banks, insurance companies, royalties, commissions, and so forth. So having a trine there may be putting in something here now that can be secured in this week between the 14th and the 21st, as Venus then also will align with Saturn. That's going to secure it. Saturn's going to really ground that, you know, so I feel that that might be one of the beauties that you can earn now from your labor of work and effort that you've been working at the last 2 years. So here we go. On the 9th, we do have a little situation. You want to try to lay a little low-key that day. Might be a situation that you're not really seeing eye to eye, either with someone or a situation, and especially if it comes to making choices. Mercury here will be in the 5th house, so creativity or children too. It could be a project that you're working on. It's squaring off here and might have to do with a financial aspect of this creativity, or maybe your children needing something and you're not quite sure, especially if it's of a financial nature. But then on the 10th, you will know. So I'd say hold off to the 10th when Mercury gets the confirmation it needs from Jupiter. Jupiter gives us that confidence because we see, we have vision, when Jupiter is present. So on the 11th, I think then the process between the 9th and 11th will then shore itself up, so to speak, because we have then Mercury, no, I'm sorry, the Sun and Saturn coming together in the 6th house. The Sun is the 4th house, family, home, structure, roots, property. Saturn in the 6th house, you know, that's where you're clearing up and streamlining your things, so you will start feeling that that will have completed a cycle that you're happy with. We do have unexpected news. Might not just be the best of news because Mercury and Uranus are opposite. So, you know, yes, Uranus can always bring us unexpected good news too. That's under those positive aspects, but we do have an opposition here. So, but I wouldn't, you know, act upon anything. Just be the observer for now. See where it's going to go, what it's going to do. On the 14th, well, then you have some very good news, like I said, about money. Venus and Pluto in that trine. But Venus is also love and Pluto is passion. So this could also be the most passionate day of the month, those two together. And then we have Venus and Saturn too on the 21st. So something there romantically can secure itself on the 21st where you feel the aims, the goals you've been working for, finally now will come together, solidify itself for you. Financially too, whatever you've been working on, well, I see how that can come together, solidify itself as well. Any investments that you need to have for home improvement, for example, since it's coming from this area of your to-do list, your day-to-day ambitions, so to speak, and money here in the home area, well, that could be you might get a new appliance, or you might just, you know, go get some new tiles, and whatever smaller investments here, I feel that that could be good for you. Buying and selling should be a good time on the 21st. They're around, give or take a day or two. So not looking too bad here for you, Gemini. Happy to see that things are really on a roll for you. I see, you know, between spending time now with siblings and your friends, that has been very beautiful. And then of course now with Mercury into your 5th house, that's going to continue that trend into September as well. So you have an extended phase there. So this is what we have for you in September. You know, listen to your moon and rising sign to get even more information on what's pertaining to you specifically. And if you wish, come back in September, re-listen again so that you have your dates down for what will come. Especially, you know, of course, if you're listening to this here early August, right? So I'll see you in October. So have a good one now, Gemini.